So I'm going to open the September 8th, 2020 meeting of the East Long Meadow Planning Board. Those that I can see in attendance are Pete Punderson, Jonathan Torsha, Tide Richards, myself, Russell Denver, Bethany Yao, who is the Director of Planning and Community Development. I know we are being recorded. We are being recorded for Mr. Mackey, maybe you can help me. Will this be on LCAT or YouTube?
LCAT YouTube, yes.
It'll be on YouTube.
And the town Facebook page.
And the town of East Long Meadow Facebook page. Is there anyone else who might be recording this meeting? Would you please raise your hand and state your name? Not seeing anyone or not hearing anyone, we can go into the first item of business, which I believe is the approval of our last board meeting. So has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes? If so, are there any corrections, additions, deletions? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the planning board meeting minutes of our last meeting?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
And just for those people who might be new and are watching this, because we are on video like this, every item needs a roll call vote. So for the approval of the minutes, Mr. Punderson?
Aye.
Mr. Torsha?
Aye.
Mr. Richards?
Aye.
And I am a yes as well. So that item passes.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, before we go any further, I can't see anybody. I don't know what happened. And it says it's asking me if I want to launch the meeting. So when I hit that, which I've already done, obviously, because I'm in the meeting, it says you've got to leave the meeting to launch the meeting.
Tide, I think, I'm not sure why you're seeing that, but I would say ignore it. You're in the meeting, we're recording.
Okay, I just can't see anybody. That's
You
all.
cannot see anybody else?
I can't see anybody but the screen.
Do you see
Oh, you have the link. I just sent you the link. You can log out of the meeting and log back in.
All right, let me do that real quick.
Okay, we will wait a minute.
Sorry. Also, is it possible George is calling in? There are 2 phone numbers here.
Okay, great. It worked.
All right.
All set.
So item number 1, Mr. Clerk.
SPRW 2020-30, home office, request for site plan review waiver for a home office for a photography business at 28 High Street, assessor's parcel ID 28-42A-B on a .42 plus or minus acre site in the Residence C zoning district. The applicant is John T. Driscoll, 28 High Street, East Long Meadow, Massachusetts. And this is continued from August 18th.
Yeah. So while Mr. Driscoll is coming into the meeting, I'd like to ask Bethany just to kind of give us an update on where we stand on this issue.
Sure. So this matter was referred to our town council for legal opinion based on some confusion about our zoning bylaws and how it interprets studios. And essentially, he's putting it back on the planning board to decide how you want to use the word studio.
However, under the current ordinance, all home-based businesses do not allow clients or customers to their properties. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is Mr. Driscoll available? John, we can see you. We can't hear you.
There, is that better?
Yes, but
I'm here.
there you go. Now you're in the screen. So
I just heard Bethany and yourself mention can't have, I guess, people come to the studio. Would that be correct?
yeah, under the current zoning bylaws, a home-based business is allowed, but customers and clients are not allowed to go to that residence as a course of business. Deliveries are allowed, that type of thing. And I believe the rationale, and I'll let Mr. Richards or Mr. Punderson join in because they've been on the board longer than I, but the rationale has always been that these are homes in residential districts. And if you allowed customers and clients to go to those homes, you're essentially creating a mini business district within a residential zone. And I'll ask the two board members that I referenced, or John, to also jump in. But Tide and Pete, do you want to add anything?
I agree with that statement. The whole, which word I'm looking for? The whole theory behind this whole zoning bylaw, when it was crafted, was to allow people to do business, but also keep a neighborhood, a residential neighborhood, which would be completely non-business type uses in activity going on there, with the exception of a computer and a phone and so forth, and to, you know, keep the traffic down and so forth. The problem I have is, obviously you can't have commercial people in your residential district, but the other situation going beyond this is, if this were to be approved, and then it would start creating a precedent for other businesses that have home offices that want to have clients come to their home to do business. So that's how I feel about it.
Peter?
Well, unfortunately, that is the way the law is written, and the spirit was obviously to protect the residential neighborhoods. So there wasn't people coming and going from, say there was three home-based businesses in a row, you'd have people coming in and out, you know, daily or weekly, whatever it may be. And we were just obviously trying to protect the privacy and the continuity in the neighborhoods as being just that, residential neighborhoods. So as innocuous as it may be to have a client a week or that type of thing show up over to Driscoll Photography, and as how nice as it would be, the precedent would be no different than we had to not allow a person in town a pool that would look completely legitimate, but was unfortunately didn't comply with the setbacks, and it sets a precedent. And we said no, and it would be the same thing here as far as I can see, unless somebody would change the bylaw. So that's what it would really require, is a bylaw change.
I certainly understand and appreciate because again, I wouldn't want to live next to a neighbor that was running a business that had folks coming in and out all day. But again, I can assure you our business, I wish it was that great that people were coming in and out all day. But again, if that's the way it's written, and that's certainly will abide by that. But I guess then that would, then to just have the office, would that be something that could be approved to just basically be able to say, you know, Driscoll Photography exists in the town of East Long Meadow.
Yes.
It's an office, which, you know, I have the office here, you know, phone calls come in and, you know, we're set up, we've got our, you know, QuickBooks set up here on another computer and this and that. And, you know, we do have a few deliveries that come in, but just basically to be able to say that Driscoll Photography does have an actual a location as an office, but not as a place to do photos or to have clients coming in.
That's the purpose of the home-based trade bylaw, is to allow the office to exist. And in certain instances for employees to show up, employees now, and to take a truck, like a landscaping business, to take a truck to work or something like that, but they have to be screened, and so do the commercial vehicles allow it, has to be screened and so forth. But that's what it's all about, is to allow that office to exist in the residential area and for supplies to be delivered when needed.
And that's all because there is no commercial vehicle, and the employees is just myself.
Right.
So there's, you know, just myself.
I know, John.
Is pretty much it. But so that would be, I guess, the you know, the use of the office here.
Yeah. So that would be allowed. So do we have anything else you want to add, John?
No, I echo with what Ty and Pete said. I think this is a good example of, you know, we don't want to set some type of precedent, even though this is a very not, you know, invasive at all type business. But then we've set that precedent, and then if that were to happen, then people would be citing this case.
And like I said, I certainly understand. Yeah, that's something I wouldn't want to live next to a neighbor that was running a business that had folks coming in and out all day. So I'm certainly happy to abide by whatever rules that the town of East Long Meadow may have, and hopefully could just have it as an office in East Long Meadow.
Any other questions from the board? Any other concerns from the board? Do I hear a motion?
I would make a motion to allow just go photography to have an office at that residence.
So you would approve, you want a motion to approve the site plan waiver request?
Yes. I'm not sure if it's been presented to us in a way that we can approve it, the way it's worded. I'd have to ask Bethany, since he came here for a different purpose.
I would just say that the condition would be no on-site clients, and that's something I can put in the decision that Russell will sign.
Okay. Okay, that's good. We can do that then. And I would make a motion to approve that with the additional language that there are no clients to show up at the residence, unfortunately, John. And I don't feel good about saying that, but I have to.
So like I said, I certainly understand. And, we do all of our photos on location. We will go to, either business or clients and do the photos there.
Do we have a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
All in favor, and we'll do a roll call. Mr. Punderson,
Aye.
Mr. Torsia,
Aye.
Mr. Richards,
Yes.
and I am a yes as well. Best of luck, John.
All right. Thank you all
Thank
very
you.
much. Certainly
care.
appreciate it. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, John.
Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Okay, SPRW 2020-31, home office. Request for site plan review waiver for a home office for a pet waste management business at 168 Mountain View Road, Assessor's Parcel ID 49-31-81 on a .61 plus or minus acre site in Residential A zoning district. The applicant is Michael Fox, 168 Mountain View Road, East Long Meadow, Mass.
Is Mr. Fox available?
He's watching reruns of Family Tide.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. We can't see you, but we can hear you. So there's a like a camera button on your lower left of the screen. You might want to hit that. Click on it. Mr. Fox? Mr. Fox? So I had Bethany do some little homework on this, so maybe she can fill us in on all the waste.
So I did give Mr. Fox a call earlier today. Essentially, he will be going to clients' homes, so that's both residential and commercial, and removing pet waste from their properties as needed.
Did he happen to say, I'm just curious, where you dispose of that?
He did not.
No.
Probably at Bondi's Island. Now you can go over and empty a motor home over there.
Yeah. Mr. Fox, are you making another try?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you. We just can't see you, and that's okay. So we understand that you will be going to residential and commercial properties to pick up waste, pet waste. So I think the board is just curious on where do you dispose of that?
In the customer's trash. Normally, like they would normally do. And I'll be working on also a contract with either waste management or somebody else for other disposals if the company, continues to grow and people want it disposed of.
And do you have a commercial vehicle?
No, I do not. I use my personal vehicle.
Okay.
Now, I'm just a little, I've never heard of this business before, so I'm a little curious. When you say you pick up their waste and put it in their trash can, you must like go around their property and pick it up. Is that what you mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. In essence, to put it in a nutshell, it's a pooper scooper business. You go around their yard, pick up the poop, double bag it, throw it away in their trash. Before every house, the tools are cleaned, my shoes are cleaned, so I don't track any diseases from yard to yard or from animal to animal. So this way it makes sure that the next customer's yard is not being transferred with any other disease from any other property.
Do other board members have questions of the petitioner?
I don't know anything about it, so can't ask a question really. It just,
Okay.
you're not going to be keeping it at home and getting rid of it from your garage or something. That's good.
Yeah, okay. So
I
hearing no
definitely
other,
have no use for it,
yeah,
other than a job.
okay. Hearing no other questions or comments from the board, do I have a motion to approve the site plan review waiver for this address?
I'll make a motion to approve the site plan waiver.
So do I have a second?
Second.
So a motion made and seconded to approve the site plan review waiver for 168 Mountain View Road. So by roll call, all in favor would be Mr. Punderson, Mr. Torsia,
Aye.
Mr. Richards,
Yes.
and I am a yes. Best of luck to you, Mr. Fox.
Thank you very, very much. I greatly appreciate it.
Okay, good luck. Take care.
Thank you.
Hope business really picks up for you.
Me too. Have a great one.
All right, next, item 3, Mr. Clerk.
SPRW 2020-32 Home Office. Request for site plan review waiver for a home office for a mobile cigar booth business at 12 Townview Circle, Assessor's Parcel ID 4-03-0 on a 0.55 plus or minus acre site in the residential B zoning district. The applicant is Felix excuse me with the pronunciation, Trengies Jr., 12 Townview Circle. Trengies, thank you.
Trangizi.
Thank you. That's why I keep this job, so I keep practicing. 12 Townview Circle, East Long Meadow, Mass.
Is Mr. Trangizi available?
Hello,
Hello.
how's it going?
Good. We can hear you. We can't see you. So,
Yeah, I can't get the video up.
okay. All right. So tell us a little bit about your business and how you want to conduct it.
So I want to use my home address as a home office, like keep product here. I'm going to file for my distributors and my import license for cigars. So I was just going to keep my product at the house and get a vendor's license and take my product from my house to events and everything and sell cigars there.
So it says in the application for a mobile cigar booth. So is that a commercial vehicle that you have?
I'm not going to have any vehicles at the house. There's not going to be any traffic at my house. The only thing for my house is that I'm going to keep my product here and have product shipped with. It's going to be a home office. That's
Yep.
it.
Okay. Members of the planning board have any questions for the petitioner?
About how much product? Are we talking like maybe a bedroom full, or are we talking like the whole house full?
No, probably about like 5-6 boxes at once to
Okay.
take to an event. So about like 100 cigars. That's about it.
Good. Sounds very creative. So, other questions from the board? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve the site plan waiver for 12 Townview Circle?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion made and second to approve the site plan review waiver. By roll call, Mr. Punderson,
Aye.
Mr. Torsia,
Aye.
Mr. Richards,
Yes.
and I am a yes. Congratulations, Mr. Tranghese. Best of luck in your business.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you. So on the next item, even before you announce it, Mr. Richards, so I was informed today that for the A&R at 32 Indian Springs Road, that if this is approved, one of the parcels to be split off will be purchased by Brownstone Gardens. And I am a member of the board of directors of Brownstone Gardens. So I need to recuse myself of this. So I might ask Mr. Richards to conduct whatever needs to be conducted with respect to the endorsement. And I think I will mute myself and I will stop the video. And then when we get into other business, I will pick up again. Okay?
Okay. A&R 2022 32 Indian Springs Road, request by applicant for endorsement of a plan believed not to require subdivision approval under subdivision control law to split 32 Indian Springs Road, assessors parcel ID 38-50-1 into two parcels. New lot A, 43,560 square feet, and new lot B, 63,755 square feet, located in residential A zoning district. The applicants are Douglas K. and Janet M. Sessions at 32 Indian Springs Road, East Long Meadow, Mass. Are the Sessions on our meeting tonight? Have they signed in? Michael Smith, okay.
Hello,
Hello.
how are you guys?
Hey, Mike.
Do you want to tell us what, just describe briefly what you're trying to accomplish, what's going to be accomplished here?
Yeah, I mean, basically they have, let's see here, about 2.5 acres of property. They're selling their house and they're going to sell the rear parcel of the property, like you said, I believe, to Brownstone Gardens. There's a deal in the works for that. So basically this was just to subdivide off the parcel that Brownstone's going to purchase and get a bill or get the house on a lot for sale as well.
The lot that's being subdivision, I think just going to be in the rear, potentially sold to Brownstone. Is that a conforming or a non-conforming lot?
Well, it's non-conforming by frontage, but they have no intention of building on it anyway. They're going to be joining it with their existing property at some point soon.
You mean Brownstone's existing property?
Yeah, Brownstone's existing
Okay.
property. They have no intention of building on it or anything. It's labeled as not a building lot on the plan as well. There is, I guess, frontage on Pleasant Street that you could put a road or something in on, but they have no intention of doing so at all.
So what if Brownstone doesn't buy it?
It would still be, could be sold as not a building lot until further action on the planning board. So it'd be a non-conforming lot, but it would have frontage and square footage, just not the required frontage in the zone. So if you look at it, it's got an entrance, like at one point there was an option to possibly put a road in there, which was never done. And I don't think it ever will be. But I'm pretty sure a purchase and sale has been signed on this already. And I'm pretty sure the deal is pretty much done, pending approval of this plan.
Yeah, I just want to make sure it closes.
Yeah.
Does anyone, go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, Ty, I may be wrong, but I think the approval of an A&R depends on each property having proper frontage after you split it up. It doesn't, I don't think it states what type of use you're going to have it for, but I think each one after you split it up has to have the proper frontage.
Yeah, but we have
One of them doesn't.
You can't put a note, not a building lot until further action of the planning board leading. So as an example, if you were to buy 100 acres of property out in back of somebody's house that only had a 50-foot strip back there or 60-foot strip, technically it doesn't meet the frontage requirement until further action. Say you were going to develop it into a subdivision and put a road in there. You can sell that property off. It's just not buildable until further action of the planning board. You're basically just creating a useless parcel until something else takes place. No buildability or anything. And I think the intent, I might not have listed it on the plan, but the intent is obviously to join it with Brownstone's property.
Yeah, you see, once it's joined, I mean, that's wonderful, but, you know, until that time, you know, I'm just trying to think about mechanically how to work through this so that we're not creating, you know, non-conforming lots, which we're not supposed to be doing. What do you think, Pete?
Oh, looks like we lost.
Did we lose him?
We lost Pete.
John, do you have any comments?
Yeah, I kind of share a little bit of that worry, just more so about creating precedent, but so a deal is pretty much in the works. So there won't be anything on the property per se that Brownstone will have. It'll be kind of an open spot, but they'll just be using it.
It's labeled on the plan as not a building lot. So there is no development that could take place, nothing on the property. Strictly woods until the deal goes through.
Brownstone.
The next plan you'll see will be an A&R plan combining it with land of Brownstone.
Pete, come on, Pete. We need Pete to vote anyways.
Yeah, I think we would need a majority.
Pete, it's Don. Pete had a troublesome internet connection, so he maybe got bumped off that way.
Well, there's only two of us. Don, is he trying to sign back on?
From Russell, yes, he is trying to sign back in,
Oh, okay, great.
but I don't see him so far. But
Well, why don't we wait a minute because we can't act on this without him.
okay.
Does anyone have a joke?
I mean, another option, I guess, would be to revise a note on the plan before maybe approving it conditionally tonight, getting a plan with a note on it saying that the plan is to become an integral part of land of Brownstone Gardens prior to recording, and then a formal A&R after. I'm trying to read through some stuff right now quickly.
Yeah, you know, if we could do something like that, I'd feel more comfortable about it. You know, and you know, most likely there isn't going to be any issue with this project. If Brownstone buys it, you know, no harm done, everything's good. The only concern, and I know it may be 1 in a million, but unfortunately we have to, you know, look at this because we represent the town, is hypothetically, if we subdivide it off and then these people sell their home and Brownstone doesn't buy it, now we've got a non-conforming lot sitting there that you really can't do anything with.
Yeah, so one of the factors that came up in this case was that the Sessions were under purchase and sale on their property when this deal came to fruition or came in, and they are looking to close on their house. They have a deadline to close on their house as the people have a mortgage locked in. And I had said that it would be possible to create the A&R, creating their house lot and the adjacent property that will be deeded to Brownstone, but it would be hard to put an A&R together, combining it with Brownstone property, as well as the fact that Brownstone property is going through some restructuring of their organization as well. So this would have just thrown another wrench in that as well. So I think they were hoping to due to time constraints, have this approved, sell their lot, sell the parcel to Brownstone, and proceed with combining it with Brownstone. And I mean, I would say we could get in with another meeting or two for Brownstone with an A&R on their end, and I could put a note on the plan. I could print a new Mylar tomorrow, drop it off. That would have a note saying that the property is to become an integral part of Brownstone property.
Yeah, if there's, I don't know if we could legally do this, but if we
Yeah.
could, I probably would not be opposed to saying the A&R is approved contingent upon the purchase of Brownstone, so
Yep.
that we're not creating a non-conforming lot that could sit out in no man's land, particularly in light of the fact that these people already have a buyer for their home and shortly they're going to be closing.
And I think that the scheduled closing on the house, the land to Brownstone Gardens, will all happen subsequently with the recording of the plan as well.
Okay, so
the plan won't even be recorded until deeds transfer.
So hypothetically, they may all be closing on the same day.
Yes.
Boy, that'd make it easy.
Yes. I wish I had somebody from Brownstone Gardens here to verify that, but I'm 90% sure that that's the case.
Yeah, and I don't doubt their intention to close on the property, but even taking this a step further on what you just said a minute ago, often when there's a company's restructuring, decisions are changed at the last minute, and I wouldn't want this decision.
Yeah,
changed.
theirs is more, I guess the Brownstones have several entities involved, and they're going to mainstream them into one entity to run all of them. I think that was what was happening there, but yeah.
Well, while we're waiting for Pete, because we can't act without him, Bethany, do you have any idea if, or do you know from your training if it's possible to put a contingency on or a prerequisite on a A&R?
That's a good question. I'm not positive. Let me just see what our what the decision form looks like.
Michael, can you think of any other solutions?
Yeah, I'm trying to find, I'm actually looking right now because I know that the board has previously approved plans like this with a note on a lot saying not a building lot until further action of the planning board. It's happened on, specifically I can remember it on subdivisions where somebody's selling property that has the radius entrance for a road to go in, and there's maybe subdivide off some frontage lots or something, but that would be the frontage for the remaining land. I'm trying to find one in my files quickly, so I'm kind of running through stuff, but I know it's been done before by the board, as long as it had the note, not a building lot. The concern would be that if you don't have that note, the lot could be marketed and somebody would be fooled into thinking that it is a building lot, whereas the protection of having not a building lot is saying, hey, whoever looks at that plan clearly sees that this is not a buildable lot.
Okay, so what is the closing date approximate for the house and for both of them?
I believe it's right at the end of September.
So once we don't have P here anyways, but if we needed to go to the next meeting, it would still be before the closing, and the A&R could be filed immediately the next day. So that should solve all the issues. And if we need to take that time, we can ask our attorney, would it be possible for us to be able to approve this contingent upon this being sold and not sitting out there as a non-conforming lot? If the answer is yes, then it's real easy.
All right.
What do you think, Bethany?
Our next meeting date is September 29th.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that might be cutting it a little close.
Oh.
And also, that would be cutting it close.
Well, we still can't do anything without Pete or George.
Though technically I know Russ is abstaining, but wouldn't he constitute a majority, 3 out of 5, even though his vote is an abstention?
I don't think so. I don't think his, no, I think you need 3 who are present and part of the discussion
Okay.
to make it pass.
So, Bethany, there's a message, you probably see it in the chat, that Pete was trying to call in. So far, there's no new callers showing up here. So if he comes in by phone, we'll be able to bring him in, but so far it's not appearing here. So just wanted to, I don't know if you guys were aware, so I'm just keeping you up to date. There's no connection. Okay.
Bethany, let me ask you another question. Is it possible to have a meeting with one item on the agenda, let's say next Tuesday night, to deal with this? One, we can't even vote right now because there's just 2 of us anyways. 2, I would like to know, what some of the solutions would be to this non-conforming lot issue. And is that possible?
We could do another night. I know next week is tough because the town council meets at 6, similar to today.
Or even later this week. I mean, is it possible to do a special meeting because of a time-sensitive issue and because we've lost a board member, not through any fault of anyone's?
Yep, we just need to post it 48 hours in advance, the agenda.
Michael, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I can do pretty much any time you guys need.
So if we did that, tonight's Tuesday, if you posted it tomorrow, the soonest would be Friday. So I'm thinking maybe next Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah,
So Monday, you have, so we have a Zoom meeting set up already for rec at 6.
We could go at 5.
Yep, you can go at 5. That would be fine.
Does that work for you, Bethany? Your the planning board schedule?
Yep.
John, you're the other board member. What do you think?
That's good.
Pardon? What'd you say, John?
Oh, no, I meant to say that 5 is good.
Okay.
That's a good time.
All right. Well, then do I hear a motion to, what are we doing? We're postponing our decision until next Monday at 5 o'clock.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, by roll call. John, what's your vote on that one?
Yes, yay.
Okay, I'm a yes. So I guess that's what we're going to do.
Can we even
Is that
do
okay
a
with you, Mike?
two-person
Yes.
vote on this matter, or?
And we'll make sure the meeting is short and certainly end before 5:45 because the town resources have to be used for a 6 o'clock meeting somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I guess we're going to deal with that issue that way, and we'll see you next Monday at 5 o'clock for a brief meeting.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. And Bethany, would you ask our attorney if that's a possibility?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Our chairman is back. Mr. Denver.
Thank you, Mr. Richards. Next item, let's go to Bethany. So it's a request for extension of subdivision approval for definitive subdivision plan for Hidden Ponds Estates. Bethany, do you want to give us the update on this?
Yep, he has 8 foundations in out of the 20, and he's requesting a 2-year extension so he can complete the rest of the construction.
So what is the past practice of the planning board on this, Mr. Richards?
I think for the most part, we've granted extensions. I mean, provided that we know that the developer is diligently working on his project, I think granting an extension is what we've done in the past.
Okay. Jonathan, do you have any questions on this?
No, it seems pretty standard. Would you say 2 years is an appropriate, is that in the past? I don't know if it's usually been a year or 2 years.
Tide?
I don't recall what the extension time periods were.
I've actually been through that subdivision a couple of times. He is making very good progress. I see workers there a lot. I'm not seeing any type of delay at all. So I think I would be agreeable to 2 years.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
Yeah, I went through there a month ago and noticed the same thing, so I would agree with that.
Okay. So Bethany, do we need a vote of the board? Okay. So do I have a motion to extend?
Mr. Chairman, before we do take the vote, Bethany, I have a question. Is this project in any violation with any town ordinances to date? I mean, is everything in good standing right now with the town?
They have some open order enforcement orders from the Conservation Commission from the spring,
Okay, can you tell us what
Which
that?
means, yeah,
which means they're working with Al Joyce to, I think they mostly have to do with erosion control concerns of the commission, and they're working with Al Joyce to remedy those.
When does his time period right now, when does that expire?
It doesn't have a strict end date. Basically, he has to bring the site back up to the commission standards for them to rescind the enforcement order.
Is the meeting?
Okay, so let me make sure I understand this, because where I'm getting at is I'd like to have all outstanding issues resolved before we grant an extension. And I want to make sure he's got enough time to resolve whatever those issues are with the Conservation Commission before his current situation would end, or he'd be in violation of a timing issue.
so when's the original deadline, Bethany?
The original deadline was, let's see, December 4th, 2020.
Okay.
All right, so we've got a few months on this to deal with it. I see that we're up against it with respect to time. And I know we have one other item that is new to the agenda. Do we postpone this until September 29th, until we can find out more about the Conservation Commission matters? Does that sound appropriate?
That's what I would prefer.
Okay. So I have a motion so can someone give me a motion to just continue this until September 29th?
I'll make a motion to continue this to September 29th meeting.
And we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, those in favor, Mr. Torsia,
Aye.
Mr. Richards,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. We won't take Mr. Punderson because he came in halfway through this discussion. So Bethany, very quick, the last item which came in with respect to the subdivision on Maple Street, can you quickly go through that?
Yep, that's a release of covenant and in lieu of cash surety.
And all of the appropriate paperwork has been filed with the town, recorded in the Hampden County Registry of Deeds, and we've gotten approval from from Department of Public Works that everything is in order.
Yep.
So what vote do we need to take?
You need to vote to release the covenant. Let's see. Yep. Release the covenant for all the lots for Fairway Lane Estates.
Do I have a motion to do that?
I would make a motion to release the covenants for all the properties on, it was Fair Lane,
Fairway Lane.
Fairway Lane. I have seen the recorded documents myself. They were sent to me today, so I know that it's all recorded.
Any questions? Do we have a second?
I'll second that. I'll second that motion.
So I believe Mr. Punderson made the motion to release. Mr. Torsia seconded it. Any questions? Any concerns? Hearing none. Take a vote. Mr. Torsia,
Aye. Aye.
Mr. Richards,
Yes.
Mr. Punderson,
Aye.
and I am a yes as well. So unfortunately, due to the town council meeting in just a few minutes and they needing this Zoom license, we're being asked to end this evening's meeting. We will continue the item with respect to Indian Springs, and we will continue the item with respect to the request for extension of subdivision approval for Hidden Ponds Estates. We are going to do the Hidden Springs on next Monday at 5 p.m. Bethany will send out a new notice of meeting. You know, we might be able to do also Hidden Ponds at the same time, if that can be resolved by then, Bethany.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Richards, you look concerned. Do you have an item you want to add?
No, I'm always concerned, and I think everything went well, so my concerns are gone for the evening.
Okay, thank you all. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make
I'll
a
make a
motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. On the motion, Mr. Torsia,
Aye.
Mr. Richards,
Yes.
Mr. Punderson,
Aye.
and I'm a yes as well. Everyone have a good evening.
Thank you.